Good afternoon and welcome to Sunday Sessions with me, Leigh Perry. You're listening to Solihull Radio.
Everything was dark, oh yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, on came the lights, and everything was feeling right. People started dancing. They called me over to join in. They said, JT, don't you feel good, man? Come on and join the reggae jam. I heard them singing, ooh la la la. Hey, 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 let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Woo! Let's go dancing. Go get your dancing shoes. Get your dancing shoes. Reggae dancing. I wanna get to know you. Come on, let's reggae down, oh yeah, yeah. Get better acquainted, so that everything will be fine. Hey lady, hey baby, what's your name? Is it a Mrs. or is it Miss A? If you smile yourself, I'd like to take you for a ride. We can check the scene and we can reggae down, and we'll be singing, ooh la la la. Let's go dancing, ooh la la la. Come on, let's go reggae dancing, ooh la la la. Let's go dancing, ooh la la la. Reggae dancing, well, it's a special. Just let that music take you. Can't you hear him singing? Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. We are reggae, reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la 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 la. Well, it's a special.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing times I fear myself. I'm of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. Oh, oh,
That was Shallow from the soundtrack A Star Is Born. It's Sunday, October the 14th, and you are listening to Solihull Radio. We are online and on demand. Welcome once again to the show. I'm super excited about today's show because joining me in the studio this afternoon is Chris Hughes, YouTube and TV hypnotist. And we're going to be testing out some of his powers as he's going to hypnotise a couple of people who are right here, just having a chat with him in another room. So that's coming very, very soon. Got some fantastic music as well this afternoon. Plus, if you were with me last week, or at least listening to Solihull Radio this time last week, then you will know that I was at a very special event, which was a secret gig of UB40, which was taking place at the Hare and Hounds in King's Heath. It was a fantastic event, and there were about 150 people there, I think. They played some old favourites like Kingston Town. They did around about 40 minutes set, and a real treat because we heard 3 of their brand new singles, brand new tracks from the new album that's called For the Many, and I've got one of those tracks for you in a few minutes' time. Then after a very busy week at work, fantastic surprise, I had a complimentary ticket on Friday night and I saw Jeff Lynne and ELO because Jeff Lynne's in Birmingham this week and he was performing at the Barclaycard Arena in Birmingham. Fantastic show, it really was. Phenomenal musicians, I must say. They did all the old stuff and the new stuff, so that was a fantastic night. And of course we've had the royal wedding, which I watched. I recorded it and then watched the whole thing back. Really great, I thought, really classy wedding. And the performance, or the singer in the chapel, of course, was Andrea Bocelli, which was wonderful. So I don't know if any of you watched that and what you thought about the event, but it was great, a great watch. Of course, we've had this weather going on. We've had Storm Callum, which is creating havoc across the UK. It's pretty bad here actually at Touchwood at the moment, I must say. Anyway, fabulous songs lined up for today. As I say, I've got some Robbie Williams. I've got a track off Peabo Bryson's new album as well. I've got some Billy Joel and some Lionel Richie. But first of all, here it is. UB40's brand new single. This is Moonlight Lover.
That talking about my baby. The love you have for me, you turn into a family. Now your dad message me in a different light, but me no will not grudge. It's alright. Now and forevermore there is no other. You are my moonlight lover. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. There is no other. Ah, boy. You are my love. Come correct. It doesn't matter anyhow. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. Yes, you are my lover. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. Moonlight lover. Ah, boy. You are my lover. She was my lover, she sway in the moonlight. Her daddy never loved it, he was uptight. But I don't care anymore what he say. Tonight we're gonna tango on the Champs-Elysees. First let me wine and dine you. After that me I go dance and caress you. Undress you with my voodoo. You should know by now, girl, I love you. Can't you see that you're the one for me? 1 on 1 is 2, and later came 3. Yes, girl, I'm talking about my baby. The love you have for me, you turn into a family. Now your dad sees me in a different light, but me no will not grudge. It's alright. Now and forevermore there is no other. You are my moonlight lover. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. There is no other. Real man. You are my love. Come correct. It doesn't matter anyhow. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. You are my lover, my moonlight lover. There is no other. Ah, boy. You are my love. Come correct. It doesn't matter anyhow. Me tell you God for it, 'cause you love it and I cover now. Well, well.
Solihull Radio.
Who's watching me?
I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. Hey, hell, I pay the price. All I want is to be left alone.
Perry on Solihull Radio.
There you go, that was Rockwell and Somebody's Watching Me, because it's not long until Halloween. I'm here at Solihull Radio, live at the studio. If you want to get in touch with us today, then you know what you can do. You can phone 0121 70 40 185. You can text us on 075 64 30 30 64. Or of course you can drop us an email, and the address is studio@solihullradio.com. If you'd like any music requests, or if you've got any questions for my guest who's sitting right in front of me now, I'd like to say a massive welcome, who's come all the way from Banbury in Hurricane or whatever it is, Storm Callum, to Chris Hughes. Chris is a YouTube and TV hypnotist. Good afternoon, Chris.
Hi Leigh, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. As you're right, it's a bit windy and a bit hairy on the
motorways. Aren't not good, are they? So Chris, I mean, we met on Twitter. I meet a lot of people on Twitter. It's a great place to meet. So tell me a bit more, and we've had a chat off air, but a bit more about you, how this all started, and I gather this is your full-time career now, hypnotist.
Yeah, it's an interesting one actually, because I mean it kind of started more as kind of an interest in something that I didn't really 100% believe in. You know, we've all been a student perhaps at university, or we've seen something at a local club, or we've seen something on telly, but it's one of those things where I kind of saw it and kind of immediately dismissed it as just being a load of show-offs who quite frankly had nothing better to do other than get on stage and make fools of themselves. So I kind of spent a few years sort of pondering about the idea as to whether I should actually have a look at it. And then I ended up sort of learning the basics, and then I kind of got to a point where you kind of learn the theory as to what you need to do, and then you then have to find somebody to actually hypnotize. And I'll tell you what, the first person you're going to hypnotize as a hypnotist is the most scariest thing in the world.
Oh, well, I can imagine.
Because they know that you haven't been doing it very long, so they're not going to take you seriously, and then there's all these other sort of aspects going on. So I had this young guy who used to come around and mow my grass, and I'd pay him a £5 to come around and mow my grass, and I basically just turned around to him and said, do you fancy doing a bit of hypnosis? And he was like, oh yeah, well, sounds like fun. And and even at the age of 15 or 16, what he was, the first question he asked me was, do you think I could stop him smoking? So the immediate interest was there that kind of, if I could hypnotise him, then maybe I could stop him smoking. So he'd come round and mow the grass, and then I would sort of just stick him on a chair and practice hypnotising him. And of course, it just starts with the basics of sticking his hand to his chair, to his knee, and then I stuck his hand to his face, and just using hypnotic suggestion. And then eventually I stopped him smoking, and to this day I don't think he smokes anymore.
So you said if you can hypnotise, I mean, is anybody able to be hypnotised? I mean, or there are certain people that you just can't, and how do you know?
Well, first thing, I can't hypnotise anybody.
Right.
Fact. Because I don't have any special powers, unfortunately. So, being a hypnotist isn't like being, a superhero of some kind. My job is purely just to guide somebody into doing self-hypnosis. I mean, the only person who does hypnosis is the person who you're sat with, or you're working with in an office, or if you're on stage, it's the person who's sat in the chair.
Okay.
My job isn't to make them, to force them into a state of hypnosis. It's just, my job is just to talk them and guide them into doing something which is completely natural. So everybody can do
to yourself. You do it yourself with your own thoughts.
But the thing is, it's a choice. If somebody comes up to me and says, you ain't hypnotising me, well, I ain't hypnotising them then. That's not how it works. Yeah?
Okay.
So it's not like, I still meet people to this day who their first question is don't look at me. Don't look at me in the eyes. As if I'm going to suddenly just
make me go to sleep, like I'm looking at you now. Am I just going to drop off the chair?
Exactly. So, I mean, there's a lot of myths about it. A lot of people, believe that you're effectively you're actually going to sleep. But I think that's due to the fact that when people see people being hypnotised, they're normally slumped on a chair with their head forward.
Yep.
Which, of course, is, that they are aware of everything going on around them. They can hear everything I'm saying. I mean, if somebody goes to sleep in my office while I'm doing a therapy session, I might as well go down the pub.
Right.
Because there's no point, But as I said, it's another big myth. But the other issue is, of course, that we use the word sleep quite a lot.
You do.
Within sort of hypnotherapy work and stage work. But the reason we use it is purely because your subconscious mind understands the idea of your eyes closing and you're, going into a nice, relaxing place. So I tend to use the word sleep, but I'll never use the word wake up, which is my biggest annoyance about everybody I see doing hypnosis demonstrations is they all end up using the word wake up at the end.
They do a countdown very often, don't they? Click the fingers or something.
And then you're going to wake up. Well, the thing is, you can only wake up if you're asleep, right? And nobody's asleep. So to use the word wake up is just completely wrong, in my opinion. I mean, the worst thing is I saw somebody doing a hypnotherapy session, and they did this fantastic hypnotherapy session. It went fantastically, and at the end, he told the lady to wake up. Now, she won't say anything at the end, but she's going to leave your office, and she's going to go, well, hang on, it obviously didn't work, because he told me to wake up, and I know I wasn't asleep. So you actually... So
have you been hypnotized? I mean, do you know how it feels? So if it was me, so you're going to do it to me now, hypnotize me, for example. We've got somebody actually that's coming. We're going to test something out in a while. How would I feel? Am I conscious that you are talking to me, but I feel drowsy and I feel like I want to go to sleep? Or can I then react to something else? If something happens in the room, do I react to that, or am I just sort of linked into the thoughts?
Well, I mean, the first thing is a lot of people talk about a feeling of being relaxed. Now, the only reason people feel relaxed is because the suggestion we give people during a hypnotic session is to be relaxed. But ultimately, relaxation isn't even really that important. I mean, if somebody is on a stage show dancing around believing they're the best ballerina in the world ever, they're not particularly relaxed, are they?
No.
You know what I mean? I mean,
no.
they're actually having a whale of a time. So the relaxation part isn't really that important, other than the fact that if you tell somebody during a hypnosis session that they're going to feel relaxed, and then they get relaxed, then they're obviously following what you're saying. They're accepting the ideas you're giving them. So you use it as an indication as to whether or not they're, suggestible and open to your influence, for things going forward, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So we've got a gentleman here called Brian Chapelhow. I'm going to play a bit more music first. But Brian, you're with us. You've joined us this afternoon, and you very kindly agreed to some hypnosis.
Good afternoon, Leigh. Yes,
how are you?
I've... you approached me just last week and said we've got Chris coming in, so would I like to give it a go? Is there anything you'd like to consider? And as a smoker of some years, I feel now's the time that I need some help.
Okay, so how are you feeling about? I mean, what was your first initial thoughts? Is it something that you've got any strong opinions on? Is it something that you're open about? That you've seen before in the past? I mean, think about the people that have done it on TV with studio audiences.
Yeah, and I suppose as with most people, I'm a bit of a cynic when it comes to that.
Right.
As Chris just explained, not that I wanted to get into this particular subject, but it helps if you have an open mind with it, I think, and certainly I do have an open mind, and it's something that you hear people having hypnosis therapy for phobias, and it works for them. So if it's something that's going to help, then why not give it a go?
Wonderful.
I'm open to things.
Brilliant. Okay, so we are just going to play another piece of music, and then we're going to come back to you, Brian, and give this a go. See if we can get you to pack up smoking. Thank you. This is a bit of ELO, as I say. Saw them the other night. Fantastic they were. This is one of the tracks that they performed live in Birmingham at the Arena, and this is, of course, Mr. Blue Sky.
Everybody's in a play, and don't you know, it's a beautiful pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
That was ELO and, of course, Mr. Blue Sky. So here in the studio at Solihull Radio with me this afternoon is my guest, Chris Hughes, YouTube and TV hypnotist. And with him, sat to his right, is Brian Chapelhouse, who has actually volunteered to come and try out some hypnosis because Brian wants to pack up smoking. So Chris and Brian have had a chat off air, and it's over to you, Chris. Take it away.
Right, yeah. So, I hope you can hear me. We're going to attempt to do a little bit of hypnosis with Brian. Brian, nice to meet you. Excellent.
And you.
Right, so with everything we do hypnosis-wise, there's essentially an induction, which is the bit that obviously is going to hopefully get you into this kind of nice, relaxed place. So we're probably just going to go ahead and do an induction of some kind, and we're going to attempt it live here on Solihull Radio.
Very good.
Good. So what we're going to do, I'm going to attempt to talk into this mic and do it at the same time. We'll have a go.
Okay.
Right. So what I want you to do is I want you, Brian, to make two fists for me. Excellent. And I want you to just imagine those sort of fists. I want you to circle them round and round and round. That's it. And so you're going to spin them round and round and round. And then you're going to concentrate on your hands for me. And as you concentrate on your hands, I just want you to just spin them round. And every time I say the word reverse, I want you to reverse them. So reverse. That's it. Faster, faster, faster. Spin them up. And then reverse again. Fast, 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 fast. Reverse again. Fast, 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 and reverse again. Fast, 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 fast. Spin them up, spin them up, spin, 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 spin. Reverse again. Spin them up, spin them up, spin them up, spin them, reverse again. Fast, 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 and sleep right the way down, deeper, deeper, deeper. You just relax and drift and float all the way down, deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more you relax, the better.
Oh my
you feel.
goodness.
And the better you feel, the more you just relax and drift and float deeper and deeper and deeper. And of course, Brian, you're going to listen to every single word I say, and you're going to allow yourself just to drift and float deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you just relax and drift and float deeper and deeper and deeper. And of course, Brian can hear every single word I'm saying, even though he's just relaxing and drifting and floating deeper and deeper and deeper.
So right now, Brian, I'm looking at Brian. His head is slumped forwards and he looks like he's asleep. We are actually videoing this. So a bit later on you'll be able to see this video on Solihull Radio Facebook page.
All the way down, just relaxing and drifting and floating deeper and deeper. And of course, as I gently rock you, you can just allow yourself just to relax even more deeper and deeper and deeper, all the way down, just drifting and floating deeper and deeper and deeper. Good. And of course, you'll just continue to relax. And of course, every single sound I say now, everything I ask you to imagine in your mind, you're going to imagine it as if it's 100% reality, as you just continue to relax and drift and float deeper and deeper and deeper. Excellent. And of course, from now on, as quickly as this, a snap of the fingers, you'll instantly return back into this lovely, relaxing place, just feeling absolutely wonderful and marvellous. I'm just going to ask you to open your eyes now. Will you go open your eyes? Excellent. And you want to tell everybody what this feels like? What does it feel like?
Very relaxing, very quiet. Sleepy?
Just nice. It's nice, isn't it?
Nice.
But you're not asleep, are you?
I'm not sleepy.
You can hear everything I'm saying, can't you?
Yeah.
Excellent. And just sleep right the way down. Deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you relax. So, Leigh, what's happening is obviously Brian is in a nice, relaxing place. He's just enjoying this lovely feeling. And even though I use the word sleep, he's not actually asleep. He can still hear everything going on. But we're just allowing him now to just go into a really nice, deep, relaxing place as he just drifts and floats deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, Brian, in a minute I'm going to have you open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, I want you to imagine for me in front of you as a blackboard. And I want you to imagine on that blackboard are the numbers from 1 to 10. And I want you to imagine you've got a little board rubber. And I want you to imagine you walk up to that board rubber and you're going to rub out the number 6. I want you to imagine you've rubbed out the number 6. And in your mind, just imagine the number 6 no longer exists. Because in a minute, the count of 3, when you open your eyes, the number 6 has completely vanished. The more you try and say the number 6 or think the number 6, the more it's simply not going to be there. It's just completely erased from your mind. So you're going to count. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to get to the next number. It's just not going to be there. You'll just continue counting all the way up. So the count of 3, when you open your eyes, Brian, the number 6 no longer exists. You can't say it. You can't speak it. It's just completely erased from your mind. 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. Excellent. Feeling good?
Yeah.
Excellent, good. Can you hold your hands out for me like this? You're going to count your fingers for me. This is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9,
Wow.
10.
I don't know how much of this you can hear, but Brian has just got his hands held out in front of him after Chris has just said that when he opens his eyes, he's not going to remember the number 6.
How does that feel, Brian?
Yeah, feels good.
Excellent. So how many fingers you got on this hand? This is 1,
2,
3,
3, 4, 5.
There's 5 on there. How many on here?
5.
There's 5 on here, isn't there? So 5 and 5 is
10.
So this is.
It's 1.
Oh
2,
my goodness.
3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Excellent. It's good, and just sleep right the way down, just deeper and deeper, just relaxing and drifting and floating.
Wow,
Deeper
Brian
and
hasn't got the
deeper.
microphone right up to his
All the way
face.
down,
He's
drifting and
asleep
floating.
again in the chair, almost feeling
Deeper and
asleep.
deeper and deeper.
He's just counted the fingers on his hand. That's just amazing. I can't believe I'm
So
seeing this.
Let's bring him back up, just from this lovely relaxed place, and then we have a chat with him. How you doing, Brian?
Yeah, good. Thank
Good.
you. Yeah, very
So how
good.
does that feel? It feels weird, doesn't it?
Feels quite strange, very relaxing. Yeah, I could feel myself just going down into the abyss, I suppose, something like that.
Yeah. But how does so when you're counting, it just feels a bit strange, doesn't it? When you get to
It does. I was thinking about the next number, but realising that it wasn't 6, it had to be 7.
Gosh.
But you see, all Brian's doing is accepting a suggestion, yes? This is no different to accepting a suggestion for not having a fag in the morning, or not smoking, or not doing a habit. So what I mean, it's just a suggestion. And it doesn't matter what positive suggestion we want Brian to accept. As long as it doesn't go against his own morals, values, or beliefs, it's perfectly acceptable for your subconscious to accept it. So what happens is you start to count, and you get to the next number, or whatever it is, and then your brain goes, well, no, the next number's 7, and it's almost like you're consciously you're going, well, I know it's kind of 6, but it doesn't feel right, does it?
No, that's right.
How I can't believe that, Brian. You back with us?
I'm with you. Yeah.
Can you get a bit closer to the microphone, Brian? How did that feel? How did that happen so quickly?
I suppose it starts from the fact that I really don't have much trouble falling asleep at the best of times. So to get into that relaxed state I felt was quite easy. And I think just the way I've been talked to was
but we've
was
just
suggestive.
watched you. Obviously, Tracy, your wife's here with us, and she's videoing this so that we can put this so that Solihull Radio can watch this back. But I can't believe that happened in such a short space of time. I've just watched you hold your hands out, count through your fingers, and miss number 6 and go to number 7. That is remarkable.
Yeah, it did feel quite strange, as I say. It was. Should I be thinking that number? But as Chris suggested, I could just see that it wasn't there, and having to move on to 7. Yeah, weird. Because
you see, ultimately we have to do what our subconscious mind tells us to do. Yeah. So if your subconscious mind decides that I don't know, that a pair of glasses is the most scariest thing in the world, there is no way on this planet can you go anywhere near a pair of glasses. You can't see a picture of them, because your subconscious mind will make you feel massive amounts of anxiety, which is how a phobia works. Most people will say a phobia is completely irrational, because it is irrational, because you're going, well, it's just a pair of glasses, I know it ain't going to hurt me. But your subconscious is going, well, no, because glasses are the most scariest thing in the world. So there's nothing you can do about it. And there's hundreds of people, there's thousands of people, at any one time, who've all got these crazy or sometimes just simple phobias, like a phobia of spiders or a phobia of lifts, or, and all of those things can be sorted out very, very quickly using this. I mean, it's.
Oh, I've got to come and see you about my phobia of flying, Brian. When Chris said, well, it looked like you were asleep to me because your head had slumped forward, and how did that feel? Were you aware of us here, or?
I think, as Chris said to me before we came on air, it was still being aware of everything around you and hearing his voice.
Okay.
So I certainly didn't feel as though I was asleep. It was just this very quiet, relaxed state, I suppose, state of mind. And yeah, I felt warm. I felt very relaxed. I was conscious that my head had dropped forward straight away.
You were. Mm-hmm.
My arms just felt totally relaxed. I wasn't.
But it's an amazing feeling of relaxation, isn't it?
It was.
I mean, some people say to me, "I cannot believe how relaxed you've managed to get me in just a few minutes," because you can sit there and tell yourself to relax, can't you? When you're stressed, you sit in a chair and you go, God, I've got to relax.
Exactly.
And it just doesn't happen.
No. It just doesn't happen. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. That's amazing. Okay, I'm going to play a bit more music, and then we'll come back on air and have a chat. I've had a couple of messages for you here, Chris. So if you want to get in touch with us today, just text us on 075 64 30 30 64, or drop us an email, studio@solihullradio.com, if you've got any questions for Chris, who is here for the rest of the show. It's a bit of Jess Glynn here. This is her new single, 1 2 3.
I give you all my money if love was the currency. If my back was up against it, I'd swear on my property. I know you ain't the one to gamble, bet you're gonna win. Lay all your cards on the table, let me know if you're out or in. If you give a little time, then I'll be yours. Just spend a little time, cause it don't cost. 1 2 3, add it up. You trust me, that's enough. Put it want security, then baby invest in me. You don't need to build me out, no, 'cause everything I got is there for you. If you give a little time, then I'll be yours. Just spend a little time, 'cause it don't cut. 1, 2, 3, add it up. You plus me, that's enough. Put it all down on a good thing. Don't you wanna know what you're missing? 1, 2, 3, add it up. What I need ain't a lot. Put it all down on a good thing. Don't you wanna know what you're missing? Put a little love on me, a little love down on me. Won't you put it down on me? Put a little love down on me. No, I won't let it all go to waste. Your love on me, 'cause I know, yeah, I know what it takes. Your love on me. No, I won't let it all go to waste. Your love on me, 'cause I know, yeah, I know what it takes. Your love on me. 1, 2, 3, add it up. You plus me, that's enough. Put it all down on a good thing. Don't you wanna know what you're missing? 1, 2, 3, add it up. What I need ain't enough. Put it all down on a good thing. Don't you wanna know what you're missing? Put a little love on me, a little love down on me. Won't you put it down on me? Put a little love down. Put a little love on me, a little love down on me. Won't you put it down on me? Put a little love down on me.
Solihullradio.com.
There you go, a bit of Jess Glynn for you this wet Sunday afternoon. We are Solihull Radio here, and we're live at the studio with our guest Chris Hughes, YouTube and TV hypnotist. Obviously, we've not met before, Chris. We've just sort of spoken on Twitter, and I know Brian, and it was only recently they asked Brian to come in today just to give this a go. So just explain what happened, because you just met literally for 5-10 minutes before we went on air. So do you have to speak to somebody first and check health issues or anything like that, or how does it work?
The key thing is just really to check how suggestible somebody is naturally, because obviously, the more suggestible you are, the actual better the hypnotic experience is. So in order to just to make sure that we can actually get Brian into that kind of state we need him to be in, I just did a few simple suggestibility tests. I think I got a nut out on a piece of string, and Brian held that nut on a piece of string, and he used his imagination, and that nut starts swinging left and right. So it's just simple little tests, really, because obviously, if somebody doesn't want to do this, they won't do it. It's a volunteer sport kind of thing,
right? Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
It's as I said, I haven't got any special powers. I can't take over your mind. I can't make you do things against your own will. It's purely just part of the process. And also, the thing to remember is that I'm working with Brian. We're doing this together. It's not me doing something to Brian.
No.
So it's always good to at least have a little chat and understand, where he is and where I am, and kind of kick things off, correctly.
Okay, so normally, let's say somebody wants to, they've got, I don't know, phobia of spiders, like we see on these shows on the TV, or flying, like myself, or Brian's case, wants to pack up smoking. What would the process be normally? Would it be a course of hypnotherapy? Would it be a 1-hour, one-off session? How would that normally work?
Well, I mean, a lot of people ask how many sessions you need to start smoking. Well, my response is always, you only have to stop once.
Yeah.
So there's only really one session, because once you've had the session, then you're going to stop smoking. If you didn't stop smoking after one session, then obviously, it isn't something. Something's obviously gone wrong. But I don't really let people get to the point where we do the session without actually at least coming in and doing a consultation. So the consultation effectively isn't just somebody coming in and having a chat for 20 minutes. My consultation involves them doing some hypnosis, because ultimately hypnotherapy, which is obviously, you know, what we actually do, hypnotherapy only works if the person's doing a level of hypnosis, some sort of, you know, they have to be in a state of suggestibility in order for it to work. So a lot of people will, for example, say to me, oh, I went to a hypnotist once and it didn't work. And it's like, well, probably what happened is you went to see the hypnotist, you sat in the seat with your eyes closed and you didn't go anywhere. So you weren't in a state of, you weren't in a suggestible state. Therefore, everything they said to you didn't have any effect. So it wasn't the fact that it didn't work, it was more the fact that the preparation hadn't been put in, you know, to make sure you're in a state of hypnosis. And if somebody can't get into a state of hypnosis, we then have ways of sort of, you know, making that easier, giving somebody something to listen to, for example. But in Brian's case, he's fairly open to suggestion.
So I saw. So I saw. Okay, so you wanted to talk through something now with Brian.
So yeah, I mean, Brian obviously wants to stop smoking, and a lot of people have exactly the same questions about stopping smoking, because I believe, and a lot of people will disagree with me, but as far as I'm concerned, nobody really has an addiction to nicotine. I think the idea of being addicted to nicotine is almost sold to us as a reason for why we smoke. Nicotine, for example, you know, I used to smoke years and years ago, and I remember buying a nicotine patch. I put it on my arm, and I felt drunk within about 2 minutes, and I nearly threw up, because it's not nicotine. Nicotine isn't the reason why you put a cigarette in your mouth. The reason you put a cigarette in your mouth is because you have done that behavior every day for 10 years, for 20 years. And if you don't do that behavior, your subconscious mind gets very upset about it, and it will make you feel anxious, and it will basically just keep going on at you in your head over and over again until you eventually do the behavior that it says you have to do. Yeah. So if you're somebody who gets up in the morning at 9 o'clock and has a cigarette, you have to do that. If you don't do it, you know, your brain will start going on and on and on at you until you do it. It's not because of nicotine. You know, nicotine is, you know, if you can go to sleep for 8 hours and not have nicotine, then obviously it's not nicotine. Because if it was something like heroin, you know, you have to have heroin, you know, regularly. When you go to sleep, the only way you can go to sleep as a heroin addict really is to just get completely drunk. You pass out, and then in the morning you have to take all the heroin, you know, you would have effectively taken while you were asleep. You can't just miss it out. It's a dependency that is physical, and you have to take it. But you see, when I was a smoker, I used to be able to just I would go and stay with my mum and dad for the weekend. I wouldn't have a cigarette because there was no connection in my head between smoking at my mum and dad's. I lived in denial. They knew damn well I was smoking cigarettes, but as long as you denied it, it was okay, wasn't it?
Yeah. I can see that. But
the point is, there was no connection. And then what would happen is, as soon as I left, I'd get in the car. As soon as I got in the car, my brain would go, well, we're in the car, we have a cigarette in the car, don't we? And if you don't have that cigarette in the car, it will go on and on and on at you until eventually you do it. So we all live our lives based on a set of behaviors which our subconscious mind has automated for us, and we have to do those. Whether it's biting your nails, whether it's, you know, sucking your thumb, it doesn't matter what it is, you have to do that behavior. And if you don't do it, then your subconscious mind will just make you feel anxious, and it will make you feel, which is why I said what I said. Smoking isn't about nicotine. It's just a habit. It's just a behavior. And once you deal with the behavior, then we would, for example, do a stop smoking session. So currently at the moment, you wake up in the morning, you say, right, today's the day, I'm not going to have a cigarette, I'm never going to smoke again, and your subconscious mind goes, you know, effectively goes, what the heck do you think you're doing? And you go, nope, I'm not going to have a cigarette, and it goes, well, yeah, but we always have a cigarette. And we always have one at 9 o'clock. And then, so you use willpower. And you see, willpower enables you to go against what your subconscious mind or your subconscious behaviors are forcing you to do. Yeah? So as long as you've got willpower, you can stop yourself from having that cigarette at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then by 10 o'clock, as long as your willpower is still going, you can probably force yourself to get through 10 o'clock. And then as the day gets on, it gets harder and harder to just not do that behavior, because your brain is screaming at you saying, it's now 12 o'clock and we still haven't had a cigarette, you know, and this is wrong. And eventually you run out of willpower because you just can't deal with it anymore. And then you have a cigarette and then you go, oh, damn it, I've just ruined it. You know, and we've all done it. You know, you've managed to do a day and then you kick yourself because eventually you have a cigarette. So with the hypnotherapy side, we switch that. So that then what happens is you wake up in the morning and you go, right, shall I have a cigarette? And your subconscious mind goes, well, no, because we don't smoke anymore. And then, but then there's no decision. You don't need willpower because you're doing what your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is saying to you, no, we don't want to smoke anymore because we don't want to get cancer. We don't want to die. And if you touch a cigarette, I'm going to make you feel horrible about it. So you just go, okay, fine. And it's literally as quick as that. You know, it doesn't need any more than one session to make that change, to make that decision. And once your subconscious mind is doing the opposite, then you never have to have a cigarette again.
Interesting.
So how long have you been smoking, Brian?
I knew you were going to ask me that question. It's probably 35 years.
Gosh,
I
is
have
it?
to say. I mean, I was at college, and I was probably as fit as I'd ever been.
Yeah.
Training every day, and some idiot in the students' union offered me a cigarette when I'd had a couple of beers.
There you go.
And you go, why not? Just have one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's only one.
Kicked it
It'll
all
be
off.
fine. And I still remember his name, and I'll wring his neck when I see him. So yeah, that started me off. There's no reason for it. I mean, yes, my mother used to smoke. Dad had smoked at one time. So it wasn't as though I was completely alien to being in the presence of people who smoke. But and certainly, you know, in those days in the students' union, as with anybody my age, everybody was exposed to smoke. And then again, in the world of work, people would smoke at the desks at work. Phone call, cigarette. Phone call, cigarette. You didn't have to make that trip outside to have a cigarette.
Yeah, true.
But the interesting thing is, I remember non-smokers used to say to me, well, if you don't want to smoke, why don't you just stop?
Yeah.
But you know,
it's a habit.
Unless
It's a
you've
habit.
done it, unless you've been a smoker, you cannot get your head around why you do it, because you know you've literally just said that you don't want to smoke, which is why this whole thing doesn't make any sense.
But at the same time, sometimes I feel like I do enjoy smoking, but I realise that I should stop. I said to you earlier, you know, giving up smoking is easy. I've done it 1,000 times. But it's something that I have had some success with over the years. And last time I tried, I think it was 3 years ago, and didn't do too badly.
But it's interesting you say you enjoy it, because you see, there's lots of things I enjoy, but you see, I wouldn't go around recommending to 7-year-old children that they should start smoking because I enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know, we understand that
and enjoyment in a strange kind of way. Yeah, I understand this is a crazy thing to say,
but to say you enjoy being controlled to do something, being forced to go and buy these things, to be forced to go and stand outside in the rain to smoke these things, to be forced to sit there and inhale this poison, which ultimately would give you either emphysema or cancer. To say you enjoy doing that is bizarre when you look at it like that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, totally.
That is true.
And there are times when I have been that idiot stood outside in the rain thinking, what am I doing?
Because as I said, this is a part of your life that is completely out of your control, you know, and that's the thing. The first thing to recognize is that actually I don't enjoy being told, you know, you look like somebody who doesn't like people bossing them around, telling them what to do, but you're quite happy to let a pack of fags say you got to go and stand out in the rain on your own, like Billy No Mates, smoking on a fag because none of your friends smoke anymore.
Oh, Brian, that's telling it as it is, isn't it?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's how can anybody say that's enjoyable? You know,
Yeah, you are right.
That's
You
the
are
point.
right.
You
You're right.
justify it in your head that it's enjoyable to justify why you're still doing this for 30 years.
This is it. This is true. Chris, we've got a couple of tweets here. We've got one from Karen O'Rourke. She's put, you had to go and say sleep, didn't you? LOL, you got me right there. Zonk straight out. Somebody else would like us to call them, and they're asking about chronic pain. So if you just can text me or tweet your number, then we can get in touch. We're just going to get a bit more music on. This is Smile. This is from Peabo Bryson's brand new album, and then we'll come back and have a bit more of a discussion with Chris Hughes.
I thought we had it all. I always thought we'd have forever, but my back's against the wall. What I wouldn't give to erase the pain I've caused. I've got to make you see just how much I really need you. Oh, I'm telling you affectionately, I've done all that I can do. Now it's up to you. Oh, smile, just believe we can step into the future hand in hand. Share our hopes and dreams forever. Smile, and you'll see that the world can be a perfect place to be if we only stay together. I'll make you smile again. Oh, make you smile, yeah, yeah. The tender love we share is so much more than just a memory. This love could never be compared. No other love in this world could ever love like we love. I've got to make you see just how much I still need you. I'm asking you, I'm telling you affectionately. Tell me what you want me to do to prove my love to you. Oh, smile, just believe we can step into the future hand in hand. Share our hopes and dreams forever. Smile, and you'll see. Need you to believe that one time can be a perfect place to be if we only stay together. Too many tears have fallen. Tell me why can't you hear this heart calling, calling? Smile and believe, just believe we can step into the future. Can you smile on me? Share our hopes and dreams forever. Wanna see you smile, perfect harmony if we only stay together. So many words left unspoken, promises made, and hearts are broken. Give me a chance to make you smile.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Seems like it was yesterday when I saw your face. You told me how proud you were, but I walked away. If only I knew what I know today. Ooh, ooh. I would hold you in my arms, I would take the pain away. Thank you for all you've done, forgive all your mistakes. There's nothing I wouldn't do to hear your voice again. Sometimes I wanna call you, but I know you won't be there. Oh, I'm sorry for blaming you for everything I just couldn't do. And I've hurt myself by hurting you. Some days I feel broke inside, but I won't admit. Sometimes I just wanna hide, 'cause it's you I miss. And it's so hard to say goodbye when it comes to this. Ooh. Would you tell me I was wrong? Would you help me understand? Are you looking down upon me? Are you proud of who I am? There's nothing I wouldn't do to have just one more chance to look into your eyes and see you looking back. Oh, I'm sorry for blaming you for everything I just couldn't do. And I've hurt myself. Oh, if I had just one more day, I would tell you how much that I missed you since you've been away. Oh, it's dangerous. It's so out of line to try and turn back time. I'm sorry for blaming you for everything I just couldn't do. And I've hurt myself by hurting you.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
That was Christina Aguilera, and that gorgeous song is called Hurt. So you are listening to Solihull Radio. We are here live at the studios in Touchwood. If you want to get in touch with us, then just text 075 64 30 30 64, or you can email studio@solihullradio.com. And our guest here this afternoon is, of course, Chris Hughes. So, Chris, we're just talking about obviously what's been going on with Brian, and hopefully Brian's going to stop smoking. But and we met on Twitter. I've been seeing all this this stuff going on about Big Brother and Channel 5, and I've seen your photographs that you've been there. What's that all about?
Well, I mean, I was just asked whether I wanted to to basically sit on the audience with Ryland for a bit on the side, and it's all just good fun, really. I mean, I find it quite interesting, but also interesting from talking about behaviours and the way people are, because I can kind of see quite a lot of traits in these people, which it's fun. I mean, that's what made Big Brother quite interesting, because it was actually about people.
Of course. So do you watch the TV differently to the way I would? You're watching Big Brother. Are you analysing people's personalities all the time?
Yeah, but I think I do that all the time.
Do you? I
mean, I can kind of work out within sort of 5 or 10 minutes of meeting somebody whether it's somebody I would want to work with. It's amazing what can happen in a hypnotherapy session. I can have somebody come in for one thing, and then you ask them a certain question, and the next thing they're in tears, because there's something else
behind it
that really is the reason. For everything.
Interesting. So do people tend to come for things like phobias, like I'm frightened of flying, people that are frightened of spiders, or is it people wanting to lose weight, or is it just generally all sorts of different things?
Mostly it's weight loss and anxiety. Anxiety is kind of pushing it now, and because I do see a lot more people for anxiety related stuff, because anxiety is a massive issue. I mean, everybody seems to get it, but you see, with anxiety, it's not really about getting rid of it. It's more about getting people to understand that actually anxiety is completely natural. And I think what happens is we end up in a situation where something happens and we find ourselves getting very anxious about something, and then you notice the fact that you're getting anxious, and then what you then do is you start to spin it around in your head, and you make it bigger and bigger and bigger, until eventually this anxiety gets so big in your head that you then turn it into a panic attack. And then the issue then happens is that you then recover from that panic attack, but your subconscious has now learned that if you get a feeling of anxiety, what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a panic attack. It's already decided that, because that's what happened. Your subconscious bases everything that's going to happen on what's already happened. So then what happens is the next time they feel a bit anxious, as soon as they feel that bit of anxiety, they go, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to make it massive. I'm going to end up with a panic attack." And of course, because that's what they expect to happen, that's what they make happen. So the same thing happens, but the next time it happens, it's even worse. And then it just gets bigger and bigger, to the point then that people start, effectively avoiding the situations that cause the anxiety in the first place. Maybe it's getting in a car and going for a drive. Those people will just stop driving. Literally, they just won't drive a car anymore, because they can't deal with the feeling that they're expecting to get when they get in a car. So the number one rule of the mind is that what the mind expects to happen is normally realized. If you expect something to hurt, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, I know that you've got somewhere to go, so you're going to be leaving us in just a few minutes, but just thank you for taking part. How has it left you feeling about the whole thing?
Very positive.
Good.
I'm certainly not poo-pooing it. I enjoyed the experience. It's great meeting Chris, and I've got to want to stop smoking at the end of the day. So I haven't come in here for him to click his fingers and all of a sudden I don't want a cigarette anymore. I've got to be able to want to stop.
And it's a long time, isn't it? Let's face it. You've been smoking for 35 years.
Yeah, and don't say that. It's just it's crazy. So there are lots of reasons why I want to stop. It's health. It's there's lots of things. It's
money as well.
It's socially less acceptable
these days.
Of course, it's expensive, and so there are lots of reasons why. But so perhaps we will talk again and maybe take it further. It's not going to stop me drinking as well, is it?
No, I mean, it's interesting what you said about wanting to stop. I mean, I've had people come to see me and we have an initial chat, and they haven't really convinced me they actually want to do it. You know, perhaps they're there because their other halves asked them to come and see me. I had one guy turn up. He said, "Hi, I want you to stop me smoking. My girlfriend's giving me the money to do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter." So I said, well, I'm not going to waste your time. You know, just go and tell her that we had a go and it didn't work. because
but you're right. You know, my wife, my two girls, nobody likes it. Other people are saying, why you smoke? You're supposed to be fit. What are you doing? So
okay, well, I wish you all the best with that, and have to let us know what happens then, won't you?
I will, thank you.
Come back again in the future. Hopefully Chris will be coming in again. Right, I'll be talking to Chris a bit more in just a little while. I'm just going to put on a bit of music, and this is Raksu.
Oh, you got my heart beating rapido. You got the boom like an angel. You got the hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. We were two-stepping on the dance floor, and now you're still telling me you want more. Put them was bailar till your feet sore. Then go a few moves at a top draw. Hey, I'll grab your hand, we start to step. We start to dance, I move correct. She got me in deep like a scuba. Telling you she's hotter than Cuba. The way you move, the way you groove, makes me wanna get close to you. Had to WhatsApp my amigos. She better let you from Puerto Rico. You got my heart beating rapido. You got that boom like an angel. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino.
Shakira, Shakira, still no fight in the night. Wanna be starting something guilty, feeling got no rhythm. That's George Michael moonwalking with Michael Jackson. Rihanna, she give me wild thoughts, maybe take off like planes and leave the airport. Figure eight, make man take bait. I never really knew that she could dance like this.
The way you move, the way you groove, makes me wanna get close to you.
Had to WhatsApp my amigos. She moving like she's from Puerto Rico.
You got my heart beating rapido. You got that boom like an angel. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino.
Turning up and it was you that I saw. Mama see her nice and me excited, dancing some more. Back to the table, couple drinks, we're just gonna pour. Then I whispered in her ear, I've never seen you before. And your body like an hourglass, an hour apart. And now it's getting dark, how about we just leave the spot? We can reach the stars, pleasing you, but it's my task. And me and you can go and cruise and see some views and pick my car.
The way you move, the way you groove, makes me wanna get close to you.
Had to WhatsApp my amigos. She moving like she from Puerto Rico.
You got my heart beating rapido. You got that boom like your angel. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino. It's a fire, it's a fire, it's a fire. You got them hips like Shakira, smile like Camila, got me feeling Latino.
Solihull Radio.
After all you put me through, you think I despise you. But in the end, I wanna thank you, 'cause you made me that much stronger. Well, I thought I knew you, thinking that you were true. Guess I couldn't trust, caught your bluff, taught me so, 'cause I've had enough. You were there by my side, always down for the ride. But your ride just came down in flames, 'cause your greed told me
little bit faster, made my skin a little bit thicker. It makes me that much smarter. So thanks for making me a fighter.
Christina Aguilera and Fighter. You are listening to Solihull Radio on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Leigh Perry and I'm with you until 6 o'clock this evening. If you'd like to get in touch with us here in the studio, you can text 075 64 30 30 64 or just drop us an email, studio@solihullradio.com. My guest with me this afternoon, live here in the studios at Touchwood, is Chris Hughes. I'll have him a bit more of a conversation with Chris in about 3.5 minutes. First of all, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous duet. This is Billy Joel with Ray Charles.
Late at night, when it's dark and cold, I'll reach out for someone to hold. When I'm blue, when I'm lonely, she comes through. She's the only one who can. My baby Gran is all I need. In my time, I've wandered everywhere around this world. She would always be there, any day, any hour. All it takes is the power in my hands. This baby Gran's been good to me. All right. I've had friends, oh, but they slipped away. And I've had fame, but it doesn't stay. I've made fortunes, spent them fast enough. As for women, they don't last with just one man. But my baby Gran is gonna stand by me. They say no one's gonna play this on the radio. What? I don't believe that. I don't believe it. They said melancholy blues were dead and gone. But only songs like these, played in minor keys, keep those memories holding on. I've come far from the life I strayed in, and I've got the scars from those dives I played in. Now I'm home and I'm weary, and in my bones every dreary one night stand. My baby Gran is coming home with me. Ever since this gig began, my baby Gran's been good to me.
That was Billy Joel with Ray Charles and Baby Grand. Absolutely gorgeous song. So with me is Chris Hughes. Thanks for staying, Chris. That was really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting how people react. Yeah,
unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that. So have you worked with many celebrities? in this field?
I've worked with quite a few celebrities, but unfortunately I'm not
allowed to name them on air. What a shame.
Only because it's obviously therapy based, a lot of it, and there's a certain amount of confidentiality. But I mean, I can tell you now, I've had people in for everything from anxiety to fear of death. You name it. Is that phobias, especially spider phobias, are very, very common. But most spider phobias are just learnt from your mother. Normally, that's normally how they start.
Yeah, true. I hate spiders. My mum was petrified. Is there anything or anybody that's ever come for treatment that it hasn't worked? I mean, does that ever happen?
Well, not really, because as I said, most people come in for the consultation. So if I can't stick somebody's hand to their face during the consultation, or stick their hands together, or make them forget their name, or whatever it is, we're doing as part of the testing.
Forget number 6.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, if they're just simple suggestions, if somebody comes in and does a consultation and that all goes fantastically fine, then we know the session, the main therapy session, is going to be great. But you see, because most people don't operate like that, most people will just have somebody books in for a hypnotherapy session, they'll go in and they'll do the session there and then. So some people will actually be in a state of trance, or a suggestible state. But then other people will just sit there with their eyes closed, and of course it won't work for them, and then they'll walk out of that office going, well, I had a go and it didn't work and it was rubbish and blah 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 blah. So the preparation's the key thing for me. If they can't get through a consultation with me, then we're not going to do the session. So it kind of avoids somebody doing a session and it failing,
Yeah, sure. So you're saying you're trying to make people more aware of the whole thing about being hypnotized, just because it's not, well, I mean, it is heard of, but is it just that it's not accepted? And
I'm just fed up with seeing people who have done every single thing the NHS has thrown at them. Maybe they've done 12 sessions of cognitive behavioural therapy. Maybe they've tried taking pills. They've done whatever. They've tried everything. And then they come and see me. I'm always like the last resort. It's kind of like, I've tried everything, nothing's worked.
So I'm going to try this.
Just thought I'd try this. And then you do a couple of sessions and maybe reframe in their mind the issues that were causing them to feel the way they felt in the first place, and everything changes. And I'm not saying I'm a miracle worker. What I'm saying is I just give people the ability to change themselves, which is the bit that's missing.
Yeah, of course. So what does your working week, how does that pan out at the moment? Is it a combination of, I know you've been going to the studios at Elstree for the Big Brother, and then obviously you've got your private consultations, your YouTubing. Is it just a mixture at the moment?
It's just a mixture. I mean, I do sessions every day normally. I must admit I haven't perhaps been doing as many as I have been recently, just because there's so much other stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, there's always somebody wanting to see me for something or another, and it's just a matter of trying to fit everybody in, really. Keeping
you busy. Now you've got a big event coming up, or a couple of big events coming up. You've got an event in November, which is it connected? Is it called Balls to Cancer?
Yeah, I think it's a testicular cancer
Yep.
event. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I think we've got everyone from John Barrowman to Lydia Lucy, I believe, is performing. There's a UB40.
There is one of the singers. There is, yeah. Is it Matt Hoy? I think it's Matt Hoy that's going to be there. Yeah, and that's locally. I think that's in Wolverhampton.
Yes, it's in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. And also, I believe, I'm sure you can't say who it is, but you've got a well-known actor's wedding coming up.
Yes, I yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I'm performing on New Year's Eve.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't mind saying whose wedding it is.
Whose wedding is it?
It's Thomas Turgoose from This Is England.
Okay.
He was unlucky or lucky enough, however you want to look at it, to be to actually be brought up on stage. So he volunteered at an event I did for Football versus Cancer. I think it was last year. And he loved it so much that he decided that I was the man to provide the entertainment at his wedding.
Wow!
So that's going to be good fun, I hope.
That is brilliant. Okay, what's your taste in music like? You a music lover?
I like a bit of anything, really.
Uh-huh.
There's no specific genre. I'm not big on jazz.
No, me neither, actually. No, I like most music.
It just kind of goes on and on a little bit too much.
Yeah,
really.
It can do, and the tune disappears altogether.
Yeah. But no, I like everything from dance music to trance music. Obviously, trance music kind of
course.
fits in with what I do. But then I love cheesy pop, and I love 80s, and
Brilliant. Okay, well, I've got some All Saints here.
Oh, All Saints, great. I love All Saints.
Back to All Saints, and this is Never Ever.
A few questions that I need to know. How you could ever hurt me so. I need to know what I've done wrong and how long it's been going on. Was it that I never paid enough attention, or did I not give enough affection? Not only will your answers keep me sane, but I'll know never to make the same mistake again. You can tell me to my face, or even on the phone. You can write it in a letter. Either way, I have to know. Did I never treat you right? Did I always start the fight? Either way, I'm going out of my mind. All the answers to my questions I have to find.
My head's spinning. Boy, I'm in a daze. I feel isolated. Don't wanna communicate. I'll take a shower. I will scour. I will run. Find peace of mind, the happy mind I once owned. Yeah.
Flexing vocabulary runs right through me. The alphabet runs right from A to Z. Conversations, hesitations in my mind. You got my conscience asking questions that I can't find. I'm not crazy. I'm sure I ain't done nothing wrong. No, I'm just waiting. 'Cause I heard that this feeling won't last that long.
Never ever have I ever felt so low. When you gonna take me out of this black hole? Never ever have I ever felt so sad. The way I'm feeling, yeah, you got me feeling really bad. Never ever had I had to find. I've had to dig away to find my own peace of mind. I've never ever had my conscience to fight. The way I'm feeling, yeah, it just don't feel right. I'll keep searching deep within my soul for all the answers. Don't wanna hurt no more. I need peace, gotta feel at ease. Need to be free from pain, go insane. My heart aches, yeah.
Sometimes vocabulary runs through my head. The alphabet runs right from A to Z. Conversations, hesitations in my mind. You got my conscience asking questions that I can't find. I'm not crazy. I'm sure I ain't done nothing wrong. And now I'm just waiting. 'Cause I heard that this feeling won't last that long.
Never ever have I ever felt so low. When you gonna take me out of this black hole? Never ever have I ever felt so sad. The way I'm feeling, yeah, you got me feeling really bad. Never ever had I had to find. I've had to dig away to find my own peace of mind. I've never ever had my conscience to fight.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
I
still gotta walk behind an old lady in the grocery line, praying that my car don't get declined. Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn, oh damn. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh damn, oh man, oh damn, oh man. I got bills, I gotta pay, so I'm gonna work, work, work every day. I got mouths, I gotta feed, so I'm gonna make sure everybody eats. I got bring it by the trumpet. In my shoes, my shoes. I said my shoes ain't got no soul. I got bills, I gotta pay, so I'm gonna work, work, work every day. I got mouths, I gotta feed, so I'm gonna make sure everybody eats. I got bills, I gotta pay, so I'm gonna work, work, work every day. I got mouths, I gotta feed, so I'm gonna make sure everybody eats. I got bills, mama got bills, yo daddy got bills, yo sister got bills, yo auntie got bills, yo uncle got bills, everybody got bills, everybody got bills.
There we go. That's Lunchbox and Lewis, and that's Bills. Love that track. So we've had loads of messages coming in. Gosh, honestly, Chris, you've got so many fans. I've never had so many tweets. I'm slurring my words because I'm trying to read the tweets at the same time as play the music. I think I've had 52 in the last half an hour. One saying, can you lose weight with hypnotism? I think we've established that. Yes,
yeah, most
One of-
definitely.
yeah.
Because losing weight is just about changing your behaviour, and I suppose that's essentially what I do. I help people change, the way they behave, and the sum of your behaviours equals your weight. So
Yeah.
if you've got a lot of bad behaviours, then your weight's going to be particularly high, whereas if
Sure.
you've got lots of good behaviours, then it's going to be relatively low.
Yes, that's a good one to treat. And also we're talking about obviously mental health. We've been talking a little bit off air because it was mental health, World Mental Health Day, I think, last week.
It was, yes.
And I believe next year, I think it's in May, that you're going to be doing some specific work connected.
Yeah, I am.
there.
I am planning something quite big for next year. I want to essentially do a tour of the UK for that week, and I want to see if we can get as many young people as we can in a venue, to effectively talk about anxiety and mental health. I believe that we all talk about it, and everybody every year does a load of videos saying we must talk about it more, but I want to try and do something about it. And there are venues up and down the country that are going to be available, so we'll effectively have some guest speakers and a few things going on. So yeah, we just get a load of people in a room and let's all talk about it instead of not doing anything about it. That's the plan.
Fantastic, that'd be great. Okay, so you've still got time to get in touch. We have another 20 minutes of today's Sunday sessions. You can text us on 075 64 30 30 64, or you can email the studio, studio@solihullradio.com if you've got any more questions for Chris Hughes. Just going to play a track by Robbie Williams and then we'll be back with you.
Tell me a story where we all change and we live our lives together, another strange. I didn't lose my mind, it was my answer giveaway.
couldn't stay to watch me cry. You didn't have the time, so I softly slip away. No regrets, they don't work. No regrets now, they only hurt. Sing me a love song, drop me a line. Suppose it's just a point of view, but they tell me I'm doing fine. From the outside, we look good for each other. Felt things were going wrong when you didn't like my mother. I don't want to hate, but that's all you've left me with. A bitter taste and a fantasy of how we all could live. No regrets, they don't work. No regrets now, they only hurt. Talking, demons in your head. If I could just stop hating you, I feel sorry for us instead. Remember the photographs insane, the one where we all laughed so lame. We were having the time of our lives. Well, thank you, it was a real blast. No regrets, they don't work. No regrets now, they only hurt. We've been taught to stay out. Write me a love song, drop me a line. Suppose it's just a point of view, but they tell me I'm doing fine. Everything I wanted to be, every time I walked away, every time you told me leave, I just wanted to stay. Every time you looked at me, and every time you smiled, I felt so vacant, you treat me like a child. I love the way we used to laugh, I love the way we used to smile. Often I sit down and think of you for a while, and then it passes me by and think of someone else instead. I guess the love we once had is officially dead.
Solihull Radio.
You got a body like an hourglass, but I can give it to you all the time. She got a booty like a Cadillac, but I can send you into overdrive. Oh, been waiting for that. Hold up, swing your back. See, anybody could be bad to you. You need a good guy to blow your mind. Yeah. Bang, bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang, bang all over.
It's Frizz in the bottle, it's Nicki full throttle, it's all. Swimming in the grotto, we winning in the lotto, we dipping in the pot of blue flow. Getting so good, it's dripping on wood, get a ride in that engine that could go. Batman robbing it, bang bang cocking it, Queen Nicki dominant, prominent. It's me, Jesse and Ari. If they test me, they sorry. Riders up like a Harley, then pull off in this Ferrari. If he hanging, we banging. Phone ringing, he slanging. It ain't karaoke night, but get the mic 'cause I'm singing. B to the A, to the N to the G, to the B to the A, to the N to the G. Hey. See anybody coming good to you? You need a back out up on your mind, your mind. Okay. Bang bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang bang all over you. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Wait a minute, yeah. Bang bang, there goes your heart. I know you want it. Bang bang, see the look on her. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Take you there. Wait a minute, say it. Bang bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang bang all over you. Yo, I said bang bang, bang 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 bang, bang bang bang, bang bang bang. Bang bang, there goes your heart. I know you want it. Bang bang, see the look on her. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Wait a minute, say it.
That was Jessie J and Ariana Grande and Bang Bang. With me is Chris Hughes, and on the line we should have Dion Kokoza. Are you there, Dion?
I'm here.
Hi, Dion. Welcome
Hi,
to
Dion.
Solihull Radio. You're speaking to Chris.
How you
Thank
doing?
you so much. I'm great, thank you. So
What
I just, hi there.
Go ahead. What would you like to ask?
I would. That's my border terror medal backing. What I would like to ask is giving confidence, if you can, in a hypnotic way, to people that have chronic pain and trying to, you know, we're all told like methods to how to handle pain, and you know, you do get told sometimes it's in the mind. But when you have issues going on, what tips would you give and methods to make, you know, psychologically feel stronger to get above your pain threshold that you have maybe on a daily basis?
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying, because a lot of people with chronic pain, they can end up actually getting quite depressed about it, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And that affects everything, doesn't it? It affects your confidence, it affects what you can do. So pain management is something definitely that you can deal with, especially, you know, with hypnotherapy. Just little techniques to enable you to reduce pain and relax, because half the time, you know, the pain is actually caused by you initially noticing it in the morning. Because a lot of people with chronic pain will say, well, they wake up in the morning and probably for about, you know, a few seconds there's nothing, and then suddenly you notice it, and then when you notice the pain, you then tighten the muscles up, don't you? And then it hurts, and then because it hurts you do it again, and then you end up in this cycle of like causing pain, you know, all the time. So yeah, it's definitely something that can help with that, mostly in relaxation, and you know,
I 100% agree with what you're saying, but you know, another big factor as well is when you don't get a sound sleep because you're going to bed maybe in pain. And as I had said about that, the legislation for the oils and things like that, but I know that, you know, the mind and the body, because you remember you've got inflammation in the body as well, so sometimes I feel like the best intentions in your mind, you know, you still, you know, I think there's always room to have, you know, you get told all these techniques, there's always room and have new ideas to say, well, actually, I'm going to try that, because if you've had a rested sleep, that does help as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth trying, and you know, if we find the time, we'll see if we can organise something.
Oh, that would be amazing.
All right, Dion, thank you for joining us here today at Solihull Radio.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hope to hear from you again. We're here every Sunday. Nice to speak to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
It's a season of firsts. John Glenn is the first American to orbit the Earth. We go out on our first cross-country tour. The label's raking it in, so they send over some girls when we hit Chicago at Christmas. And that night, I rack up a personal first. Oh, what a night! Late December back in '63. What a very special time for
Jersey Boys, and I don't normally interrupt a piece of music, but I'm going to interrupt this piece of music right now because we have got actor and celebrity Mr. Paul Danan on the telephone. Paul, are you there?
Hiya, how you doing?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. How are you?
Hi, Paul.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, we're just talking about hypnosis and mental health issues in the UK, and we've got about 5 minutes left, I believe.
Okay, lovely. Something close to my heart.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not sure we can hear him, actually. I think I'm going to have to just call him back, actually. I think we are. Just bear with us one second.
Can you hear me all right?
That's better, that's better.
Yeah,
You disappeared completely, Paul. I know you're on a mobile. That's a bit better. That's great. Okay, thanks for joining us. So Paul, we know you from Hollyoaks, and obviously in 2017 you were in Celebrity Big Brother. And of course you know Chris as well, don't you? And you're an advocate for mental health, is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah, it is correct. Yeah. I've had, I suffer from, lots of different things, really, addiction, etc. And so it's been a week of it, really. We had the Amy Winehouse Foundation Gala, raising money for awareness, taking it to schools and trying to, stop people from going down the wrong road as such, and it's been a real it's been a lot of awareness this week, so it's been great. That's
good news, isn't it? Because I was talking to Chris about obviously hypnosis and how that can help as well, and obviously Chris is going to get involved in the whole thing about mental health, supporting that next year with big plans to link up with mental health care. Yeah, brilliant, and it's something that people were afraid of really talking about, years ago, and now it's more on the forefront, and it is now in the actual dictionary, especially addiction as a mental illness, as a disease, just like diabetes and cancer. Yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely no reason, is there, for people to be afraid to talk about it? And obviously, you were mentioning.
Well, no, I mean, if it's your head, if you break your arm, you go and get it fixed. So if you fix your head, you should definitely go and get it fixed.
Exactly. And I did see, I saw that the thing about Amy Winehouse was going on this week. How are you involved with that?
So I developed the drama program for the resilience program they do, which is where we go to schools and we help kids. We tell them our story. Of how addiction has affected me, and depression, etc., and self-harm and stuff, and just kind of tell them our story, but get them up doing drama role plays, scenarios they might find themselves in, and how they can go the other way, basically, and make the right choices.
Fantastic.
So I devised the whole drama program for them, and I've been working with them for years, and it's great. It's great the work they're doing.
Fabulous. Are you busy at the moment?
Yeah, I literally just come off the basketball court for Hoops Aid, which is another charity for kids that are disabled, and just helping kids be able to have more sports in their life. Especially disabled kids, etc. So I raised a lot of money at the Copper Box Arena in the Queen Elizabeth Park just now, and I'm just in Stratford at the moment. Yeah, just literally came off the basketball court. So yeah.
Oh, so we jumped that one on you. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you're ever in the area and you let Chris know, maybe you could come into the studio and we could dedicate a show to it as well. And
I'd love to. I know. I'm gonna keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thanks ever so much. Really appreciate it, Paul. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Thanks ever so much. Bye. Wow, Chris, where's that time gone? We've nearly run out of time.
About 30 seconds left.
We've got about 30 seconds left. So just to say so much thanks for you coming in today all the way from Banbury. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And good luck with all the projects, and keep in touch. And we will we'll go back to that piece of music that we faded out just to get Paul on the line, because we did surprise him with that one. So it's back to the Jersey Boys. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon on Sunday Sessions, and I will be back with you next weekend. It's a ladies' weekend. A couple of business women are joining me. So look out on Twitter and Facebook, and obviously stay tuned to Solihull Radio all week. Thank you very much again to my guest Chris Hughes, and back to the Jersey Boys to finish the show.
It's a season of firsts. John Glenn is the first American to orbit the Earth. We go out on our first cross-country tour. The label's raking it in, so they send over some girls when we hit Chicago at Christmas. And that night, I rack up a personal first. Oh, what a night! Late December back in '63. What a very special time for me, 'cause I remember what a night. Oh, what a night. You know, I didn't even know her name, but I was never gonna be the same. What a lady, what a night. Oh, I got a funny feeling when she walked in the room. Yeah, my, as I recall, it ended